Today I want to react to the debate between Sultan and Daniel Haqiqatjou. Rather than declaring a winner, I want to ask a deeper question. What kind of society do we actually want? Daniel argues that Sharia preserves families, marriage, and civilization, while modern human rights undermine them. Harris argues that Sharia violates fundamental human rights through apostasy laws, slavery, sex slavery, and other punishments. I think both identify genuine concerns. Strong families matter. Civil rights matter. The mistake is assuming we have to sacrifice one to preserve the other. I don't consider myself a social libertarian. I value marriage, stable families, children being raised by committed parents, and caring for elderly parents. I also think every society is entitled to maintain reasonable standards for shared public life. But none of that logically requires executing apostates, imprisoning blasphemers, or allowing slavery. Daniel still has to show why those particular coercive laws are necessary. I think the state's first responsibility is protecting fundamental civil rights, life, liberty, property, freedom of conscience, and peaceful expression. Beyond that, the state may sometimes regulate conduct where there is compelling evidence of significant public harm. For example, I could imagine supporting restrictions on pornography if convincing evidence showed it causes widespread social harms that cannot be effectively addressed through less restrictive means. Likewise, societies may adopt reasonable public decency standards. Notice the difference. These are public policy questions open to evidence and debate. They are not theological commands backed by claims of divine certainty. Suppose divorce rises or birth rates fall. My first response is not to criminalize private choices. It is to strengthen the culture, teach the value of commitment, encourage people to take care of parents, celebrate faithful marriages, criticize harmful cultural trends, persuade people. A society becomes healthier when people freely embrace good values, not merely when they comply out of fear. Daniel argues that apostasy laws preserve religious unity, but fear creates conformity, not conviction. If people remain Muslim because questioning Islam could cost them their lives, that tells us almost nothing about the truth of Islam. A true religion should be capable of defending itself through reason, evidence, and persuasion. Whenever someone says God commands execution for apostasy, my first question is simple. Did God tell you personally? Or are you interpreting scripture? If you are interpreting scripture, then who gave you the authority to imprison or execute another human being because you believe your interpretation represents God's will? Human beings disagree about theology. Islamic scholars themselves have disagreed for centuries. That alone should make us extremely cautious about allowing the state to enforce contested interpretations with irreversible punishments. I actually think Daniel deserves credit for highlighting the real problems in modern society: loneliness, weakening families, and declining social cohesion. These deserve serious discussion. Where I disagree is with his proposed remedy. Every social problem cannot become an argument for expanding coercive state power. Otherwise, there is no limiting principle. My vision is neither libertarian nor theocratic. I want a free but morally serious society. The state should protect civil rights, maintain public order, and regulate genuinely harmful conduct when there is compelling evidence that doing so is necessary and proportionate. Culture, families, schools, and communities should cultivate virtue through persuasion, education, and example, not through fear of imprisonment or execution. Strong families and strong civil rights are not enemies. The challenge of a healthy civilization is learning how to preserve both.